Authorized personnel only. This is private property.
Entirely.
Alert. Non-combatants are advised to leave the area. Security sweep in progress. Lethal force may be used without warning.
Go away.
No hostiles detected. Continuing perimeter sweep.
Let me in. Edward Deegan asked me to come here.
Oh, it's you.
Threat
Good.
analysis.
Come on in.
Standing down.
Let's go meet the boss.
What is this place?
Better to let Jack answer that. Come on. Jack, the new gal is here.
One moment. I just have to...
He'll be right with us.
Oh, damn. Clearly, I'll need to adjust the mixture. Hello. Welcome to Cabot House. I'm Jack Cabot.
Pleased to meet you, Jack.
And I am very pleased to meet you. Edward finds it tiresome, but I always like to know personally everyone who works for me. Please, have a seat. How about a drink? Edward, the good bourbon, eh? Please, have a seat.
People can't actually live here, right?
Now, before we get down to business, I have a question I like to ask all my new employees.
Is this really the time
Don't
for...
interrupt, Edward. The question is this. Do you believe there is other intelligent life in the universe?
Are you talking about aliens? UFOs and little green men?
No. That's all popular hysteria. I doubt any of it has any basis in fact. I'm talking about the hidden history of our planet. The very origins of human civilization. Ancient powers that modern science, even at its pinnacle, could barely begin to comprehend.
You think aliens created human civilization?
Guess they kind of dropped the ball on that one.
Yes, if by alien you mean a non-human precursor to the commonly understood founding cultures. Sumer, Egypt, Assyria. My father excavated a city in the Rub al-Khali in Arabia, which he dated to more than 4,000 years before the rise of any known human civilization. The structures and artifacts were strange, disturbing even. Clearly not constructed for or by humans. I've spent my life trying to decipher what he uncovered.
Jack, can I tell her what I need her to do?
I'm sorry, Edward. I just get carried away sometimes. You're sending her to look for the missing shipment?
Yeah.
Well then, I'd better leave you to it. We'll talk more about this some other time, when things are less rushed. It isn't important now. Welcome to the family.
Okay. You're officially hired. Congratulations.
I'm ready to get to work.
Good. That's part of the job, by the way. It's best to keep an open mind. Jack may be eccentric, but he's definitely not crazy. The job I got for you is simple. Jack owns a facility north of the city. There's an important package that went missing between there and here. I need you to track it down and bring it back to me. Any questions?
For starters, what's this package I'm looking for?
It's a metal case holding vials of serum. You don't need to worry about what it is. Jack needs it for his research. That's all you need to know. You should start at Parsons State Insane Asylum. Don't let the name spook you. It's just a secure building that we're using. We think the courier got ambushed as he was leaving the place. The guards heard gunfire in the distance, but we don't know exactly what happened. Check in with Maria at Parsons. She's in charge of the security force there. She can point you in the right direction. You all set then?
I have some questions.
Shoot.
Why does Jack have people guarding an old insane asylum?
I don't mind you asking questions. As long as you don't mind me not answering them. If it was important to what I was asking you to do, I'd tell you. In this case, it isn't. Anything else?
Nothing else.
Okay. They're expecting you over at Parsons, so you'd better get going.
Ah, hello.
Hi.
What?
I was intrigued by your theory about an ancient alien civilization.
Actually, it was my father's theory. Now proven beyond doubt, although only to me, unfortunately. There aren't many archaeology journals publishing these days.
What was your father's theory?
He believed that all of the earliest human civilizations shared some common parent that was unknown to history. Think of Atlantis. The myth of an advanced civilization destroyed by a cataclysm is shared by many widely separated ancient cultures. Eventually, he found what he was looking for. A lost city, buried beneath the sands of the empty quarter of the Arabian desert. Millennia older than the earliest human civilizations, but with technology that seems to have surpassed our own. And yet, everything about it is strange, disturbing geometries, tools not made for human hands, carvings that hint at dimensions beyond our own.
You said your father found a lost city?
Yes, he spent years looking, and was widely ridiculed by the so-called experts. I'm ashamed to say even I doubted him. But in the end, he found it. A lost city, buried in the sands of the Rub al-Khali, the empty quarter of Arabia.
You have proof?
Enough to satisfy me. He only made a single expedition to the lost city. But he brought back enough to show beyond a doubt that the city he found wasn't made by or for human beings.
I wanted to ask you about something else.
All right.
What's going on at that old insane asylum?
I carry out some of my research there. That's all you need to know.
The more I know, the better I'll be at my job.
Well, I suppose that may be true. My father is confined in Parsons. For his own safety and everyone else's. He became dangerously unstable after handling an ancient artifact he found in Arabia. I've spent my life trying to figure out how to cure him. Was there anything else?
Quite a place you've got here. Amazing that it survived the war.
Thank you. I try not to take it for granted. We were definitely more fortunate than most. It hasn't been easy keeping it up to pre-war standards, but we do what we can. Any more questions?
How'd your father manage to travel to Arabia with the whole world blown to hell?
Ah, well, that was before the war, when he was a young man.
Come on. The war was 200 years ago.
You know your history. Most people don't grasp how long ago the war really was. One of the effects of my father's illness was a slowing or arresting of the aging process. So, yes, he is well over 200 years old, as you suspected. Are we done?
I've got to get going.
All right.
This place is off limits. You'd best move along.
Edward Deegan sent me. I'm looking for a missing package.
Oh, you're the new girl. So this package... Pretty sure we know where it is. The guys that shot Ben are holed up in the Parsons Creamery, just north of here.
Who are these guys? Raiders?
Sure, assholes with guns. Although it's weird that they're still hanging around so close. Kinda like they're scouting this place or something. I don't like it. I'm glad you're gonna finally get rid of them.
Come on! You promised you'd share!
You promised you'd share. How do I get stuck with whiny little punks like you?
Maybe Lefty won't like it much when I tell him how much you help back. What do you think of that, huh?
What do you think of this? What the?
Ain't scared yet.
Yeah, you look like a gal who could use some fresh supplies. What do you say?
What have you got?
Guns, ammo, meds, everything an adventurous wastelander needs. So, interested?
Sure.
Imogen is missing, and I want her found.
She's not missing, Mother.
Do you know where she is?
No, but that doesn't
Your sister is missing, and I want her found. What else is Edward for, if not to keep the family safe?
I'd be happy to send someone to look for her, ma'am. It's not a...
Mother, Edward has better things to do than sending someone out to find Imogen. Again.
I can't believe you don't care what happens to your sister.
I'm not going to have Edward drop everything just because Imogen decided to take a lover again.
Jack, how dare you speak so disrespectfully about your sister?
So did you find out what happened to the courier?
Imogen is out there somewhere, maybe even lying dead in a ditch, and you don't even
Some
care.
raiders set up camp near Parsons and ambushed him. I took care of them.
I don't like raiders operating so close to Parsons. I hope this isn't the start of something serious. What about the serum he was carrying? Did you get any of it back?
There was only this one vial left.
Oh, good. I was afraid we wouldn't get any of it back. Here's your pay for the job. I'm throwing in a little bonus for bringing back the serum. That was good work. Now, as far as what's next. Oh, hell. I guess it's time you met Wilhelmina. Jack's not gonna be happy about it. Come on.
People can't actually live here, right?
We've been over this, Mother.
I can't bear to think.
Jack, I'll take care of it. Mrs. Cabot, don't worry. I'll send someone to find Imogen.
Thank you, Edward. I can always count on you. Why can't you be as devoted as dear Edward?
You shouldn't indulge her, Edward. It just makes her more impossible to deal with next time.
Just doing my job. Speaking of which, here's all we got back of the last delivery from Parsons. Raiders got the rest of it, I'm sorry to say.
Ah, good. Finally. This will help settle Mother down.
Imogen is Jack's sister. You probably figured that out yourself. She's, a little flighty. Impulsive. From time to time, she runs off. Usually with a new boyfriend. Then I send somebody to bring her home.
Great. The sister's even crazier than Jack.
She's not crazy. She just wants to...
Do you know where she's gone?
No, but it shouldn't be too hard to find out. She's been spending a lot of time in Good Neighbor. That's a jazz club there, the third rail. Somebody there must know something. She's not known for keeping her mouth shut.
What if she doesn't want to come home?
Obviously, as one of the family, you can't just knock her in the head and drag her home by her heels. Usually, by the time I send someone after her, she's gotten bored with the whole thing and is ready to come home. I'm sure you'll think of something. You're supposed to be resourceful, remember?
I can't believe how callous Jack can be about his sister.
Hi, Mrs. Cabot.
Why does Imogen do this to me?
Any friend of Mayor Hancock is a friend of the third rail.
What? Another one of you mercs looking for McCready? He's in the back room.
Hi.
I toss out the troublemakers. You keep that in mind.
I'm not looking for a conversation right now.
You step through the gate, you got balls.
Well, look who it is. You know, you always did have a big mouth. Today the day you actually show some spine and make the first move. You ever get that thing done?
What thing?
I didn't think so. Now get out of here before you get yourself hurt.
Oh, right.
Asshole.
That.
Most folks
Yeah.
just don't know real living. Not like this.
Keep your eyes
Boy,
strapped
We
on.
got beer. You ain't buying beer, you ain't buying.
Do you know Imogen Cabot?
Name rings a bell. Kind of balmy. Haven't seen her in a while, though. Try Magnolia. She likes to make friends with people. She might know more about this missing bird. Magnolia! Gal wants a word.
Well, what's the matter, sweetheart? Don't tell me you didn't like the song.
I loved the song. It was perfect.
Angelic as usual, Mags.
Oh, well, thank you. A girl tries her best. Now, there's something special about you, isn't there? Don't tell me. Let me guess. It's your eyes. Quick and intense. I bet you never miss a detail, You like what you see? So what brings a woman like you to my part of town?
What do you think?
We're all trying to forget something, are we? I think you and I are gonna get along. So it's my turn to answer questions, right? What can I do for you?
I was wondering if we could get to know each other better.
Oh, really? Go on.
You, me, an evening walk under the streetlights.
And then what?
Music.
I knew you were something special, all right. Let me get my coat.
Let's get out of here.
Let me get my coat. I haven't been out on the town in too long. Thank you. I'm afraid my first love is always going to be the stage, though. I hope you understand. I just can't get too attached. I'll see you around, good neighbor. When I'm up there singing, I'll be thinking of you.
What do you think?
We're all trying to... So it's my turn.
Do you know Emma Jean Cabot?
Emma Jean? Sure. I know her. I haven't seen her in a while, though. Were you a friend of hers?
She's missing, and her family's worried about her.
Well, I'm glad somebody's looking out for her. She seems like a body that could use looking after.
Do you know where she's gone?
There was this preacher fella who used to come in here all the time. One of the slick ones. Always going on about remaking your life and so on. Most of the customers wouldn't give him the time of day, but Emma Jean, she latched on to him for some reason. I don't suppose it hurt that he was easy on the eyes. Intense. Some women find that irresistible. Pam, would you come over here a minute?
Is there a problem, Miss Magnolia?
No, this lady here was just looking for Emma Jean. Do you happen to know where that preacher fella came from?
Brother Thomas?
Yes, that's right. The one Emma Jean was always hanging on.
Had to throw him out. Wouldn't stop bothering customers with that salvation racket. Kept going on and on about joining him at the back bay. Then he'd shove those stupid flyers in your face. Here, I kept one of them, just in case he didn't pay his bar tab.
Well, thanks, honey. You were a big help.
Anything for you, miss.
I hope Emma Jean's all right. I didn't much like the idea of her going off with that preacher fella.
Hey.
Here to learn about our movement?
I'm looking for a woman named Emma Jean Cabot. Do you know her?
Oh, Emma Jean. Yeah, you'd better talk to Brother Thomas about that. We're always looking for new members.
Welcome, neighbor. We're always glad to see a new face around here. Tell me something. You ever feel like this whole world is broken? Do you ever wonder why things can't be the way they were in the good old days?
I'm just looking for Emma Jean Cabot.
Oh, I'm sorry, but Emma Jean is indisposed right now. She's not seeing visitors.
What's she doing here? Is she a member of your movement?
Actually, she and I are, you know, romantically involved. Not that it's any of your business, but she and I are just having a little relationship trouble. You know how it is. She's not seeing anybody until she cools off.
I'm a friend of the family. Maybe I can talk some sense into her.
Oh, yeah. We can be real convincing.
Look, the truth is, we had a little, disagreement about her joining the movement. She got kind of violent. So I locked her in there until I could figure out what to do with her. If you're willing to take her off my hands, let me unlock the door for you, and then she's all yours. I've got to warn you, she's way stronger than she looks. It took all of us combined to even get her locked up in there. She's all yours, neighbor.
You must be Imogen.
Don't tell me. Jack sent you.
That's right. I'm here to rescue you.
What makes you think I need to be rescued?
These cultists seem to be holding you prisoner.
Well, Thomas certainly thinks so. But really, I was just waiting to see if he would come to his senses. He seemed so interesting at first, but since we came here, he turned out to be just another brute. He actually thought he could force me to join his absurd cult.
Need anything before we go?
No. I didn't bring anything worth taking with me. Oh, I'm not going with you. You can tell Mother I'll be along home before too long. I just need a drink first. I can find my own way home. Thanks.
I'm a friend of...
Edward! Edward!
People can't actually live here,
Edward,
right?
switch over to the Hartley modulator. Do you copy?
Pitching now. How's this?
Oh, that's done it. Edward, what's going on there?
We're under attack. They're inside the building.
Inside? Can you keep them out of the basement?
I'm trying, Jack. I've never seen raiders that... For God's sake, Sammy, the doorway, right there. Sorry. Things are a little busy around here right now.
Listen, if they're inside the building, you have to go to the office and shut down the elevator. You can't risk them getting to Lorenzo.
Got it. Office. Elevator. You better round up whoever you can and get...
Hello? Edward? Come in. Edward! Ah! There's no signal at all. I've lost him.
What's happening, Jack? If these people are inside Parsons, if they free him...
Don't worry, I'll handle it.
I always knew it would end this way. I never should have allowed you to lock up Lorenzo in that place.
That isn't helping, Mother. And as I recall, using the serum was your idea, not mine.
So what are you going to do?
I said I'll handle it. I'm thinking.
What's going on?
That was Edward. He's at Parsons, the old asylum. They're under attack by raiders. It's strange. The guards have held off raiders before without any trouble. I don't know what's gone wrong this time.
What happened?
The guards at Parsons called in that they were under attack. Edward went to help. I've only just been able to raise him, briefly. I didn't get much, but it sounds like the situation there is nearly out of control. I wonder if these could be the same raiders that stole that last shipment. If some of them had used the undiluted serum, it could explain their unusual success against Edward's men.
What exactly does this serum do?
I suppose it's time you knew. The main benefit of the serum is to halt aging. My family and I are all over 400 years old. But it also confers other side effects, especially in the undiluted form that the raiders stole. It increases strength and resistance to all kinds of physical damage. So at least some of these raiders may be much more dangerous than the ones you're used to dealing with.
Where do you get this serum from?
As you probably guessed, my father is the source of the serum.
Jack, are you sure it's wise telling her all this?
In the course of my attempts to cure him, I discovered that the artifact had introduced anomalies into his blood. So the source of his insanity is also the basis of the treatments that have prolonged all our lives. The irony isn't lost on me, but if he were to escape from Parsons, I would lose my father forever. I will not allow that to happen. Not to mention that the artifact has made him paranoid, homicidally violent, and endowed with extraordinary abilities.
Exactly what abilities does he have?
Enhanced strength, unusual resistance to most kinds of physical damage. Oh, and a kind of local telekinesis, which appears to be projected by the artifact itself. That's why I've built a dampening field into his cell. Which is why we really need to stop these intruders before they turn it off. Hold on, weren't you off looking for Imogene? Did you find her?
Yes, I found her. She's fine.
Oh, good.
At least there's one small comfort on this terrible day.
You'll be wanting to be paid, of course. Edward usually handles these things. Caps is what you use for currency, isn't that right? Here, I hope that's the right amount. Before we go, I need you to understand something. When we get to Parsons, you need to do exactly what I tell you. Nothing more, nothing less. Is that clear?
Got it.
Good. Make sure you have whatever you'll need for a serious battle. I'll wait for you outside.
Jack, be careful. And try not to hurt him.
I love Father at least as much as you do. But you know as well as I do that if he gets free, there will only be one option.
Don't let it come to that, please.
I'll do my best, Mother. And if Imogene finally comes home, for God's sake, don't let her leave again until I get back. Now, I really do have to go.